Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a Mercedes-Benz E-Class wagon. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Mercedes-Benz of Draper, Utah for giving me some time with this E-Class. This particular one and a few others are available for sale, so if you're interested, link to their website in the description down below. Ask for Corey if you have any questions, need any help. Link to my car buying guide as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbo 3-liter inline-6 that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 22 around town and then 31 on the highway, with power outputs being 375 horsepower and then 369 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the front end, this new headlight design I think is the thing that pops out the most with new E-Class. It's interesting. I kind of lean towards the previous version with the looks, but I still think this is a pretty sharp looking vehicle. And then I love all of the trim here on the front end with the vents and all that, super aggressive looking. But yeah, I mean overall, looks like an E-Class, right? Now on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 255 by 40 by 20 in the front, and then on the rear it's 285 by 35 by 20, so a little bit of a staggered setup. And you can see here with the wheels, you got the really beautiful silver trim with the blacked out trim as well, and pretty big brakes. Wow. It doesn't fully fill out the wheel, so you could maybe fit like a 19 or an 18 inch wheel if you wanted a smaller one. I'm thinking because this is the all-terrain, so you could like turn it into a little off-roader. Anyways, you've got the chunky kind of like off-road style fender flares, same thing with the trim there on the side. And then you take a few steps back, this is where you can see the station wagon appearance. Now this leads us to the key fob. We have our lock and unlock function. We got the opening for the hatch, and yeah, pretty straightforward, so pop it open. And speaking of the hatch, this is really spacious in the rear. So we've got a cargo cover built in from the factory. And then you can see here to fold down the seats in the rear on either side. I mean, this is a pretty big box, so this gives you an idea of the cargo space. Again, SUV practicality with station wagons, which is really cool, but it's easier to access because the loading floor is not as high as what you have in an SUV. When you're all done, just press this button up top and that will lower the hatch right back down. This new taillight design is interesting because you've got like the little Mercedes-Benz stars there in the taillights themselves, which is unique. It's kind of got that light bar effect as well. But yeah, putting it all together, again, it looks like a station wagon, but a little bit more off-road like, I suppose. And this leads us to the rear. So we've got nice soft touch trim here and down below. And I like this trim in that section, and same thing over the window control area. And look at these seats. Really nice trim all down the center. Quickly pop in. Yeah, legroom here is good. Got a little storage pocket, more storage here with some vents in the back. And these seats are actually really comfortable. And the back passengers do get their own sunroof, which is always a nice luxury feature. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you can see again with the soft touch trim, and then you got all of our window controls here with our mirror adjustments. Mirrors do power fold in. You have your seat adjustments here, heated and cooled seats with the memory function. Got blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then here are these seats perforated all down the center. You got the lumbar adjustment on the side. And yeah, pretty normal pedals. They did give you a nice trim on the dash, which is cool. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see soft touch all around. Paddle shifters there on the back for the 9-speed. Bunch of practical controls here on the front, including volume, voice command controls, controls for the infotainment system, controls there for the center screen, adaptive cruise control as well. Turn signal, windshield wiper stalk, and then we've got our column shifter. Now this is Mercedes-Benz newest kind of gauge cluster unit, so you can change the theme of it. You can also change the information it shows, so we can do a navigation screen, for example. So overall, it's just very customizable, easy to use. 360 camera system with this. Good resolution, you can see all around the car, which is always a nice feature to have. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's quick to respond. As you can see, The climate controls are built into the screen, but they're always accessible, which is nice. And speaking of screen, we got a passenger screen. So you got another kind of secondary infotainment system here on the side. I wonder if this is going to be like a mainstay in the car industry, this giant screen stuff. We'll have to see. The drive mode select is actually below, which is interesting. And there's other controls like volume and stuff below too. I do quickly want to show the dash design. And I will say, for a giant screen setup, I think they've done a pretty good job with the overall implementation there. But again, I don't want to know how much this costs to replace if it breaks. Then we got some cup holders here, wireless phone charging pad too, with some USBs. Nice trim here on the top. And then we've got the double center console. Again, more nice soft touch trim. Same thing here on the side. And then the glove box, pretty good storage. We just have a regular rear view mirror, and then we've got another sunroof up front, and it's little sliders here with it. So here's a quick look at the window sticker for this 2025 E450, again, all-terrain. I wish the all-terrain had all-terrain tires. Just putting that out there, Mercedes. Anyways, $86,325 is the total MSRP after all options on this particular one. Let's see how it performs. Let's talk about visibility before you set off. Here's visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors do have blind spot monitoring throughout the rest of the rear. And let us set off in the pinnacle of luxury driving. And I mean that. These station wagons are really comfortable. They don't have the body roll you get with an SUV because they're lower to the ground, but they're higher than a car, so they actually have some wheel travel. So it's like you get the best of both worlds, where, you know, like SUVs, they might be really cushy over bumps, really comfortable over bumps, but then once you go around a corner, right, with all that body roll, it kind of becomes uneasy. Whereas cars, it's like around the corners, they're great, super smooth, but you go over a bump and it's like it falls apart. And this combines the best of both worlds. And it's super spacious too. These are super spacious. Quiet too. Really good insulation in here. Powertrain smooth. And this does have air suspension, so it's gonna allow you to have some height adjustment, but air suspension always helps out with the ride compared to a... And traditional shocks can be comfortable, but air shocks always kind of make things more pillowy. Oh wow. Yeah, really smooth. You know, I always do mental comparisons with Mercedes inline 6 versus BMWs. BMWs definitely feels torquier. Kind of more sport edged. This is definitely more on the smooth side of things. It's got good torque. It's not quite as much as BMW. I mean, you read the power figures and it's right there. You know, the B58 in most cars has more torque than what this has, so it makes sense as to why you feel that way. Yeah, this is really nice. It's pretty quiet. I'll turn on that cooled seat.
I got no results for that.
No, thank you. Every time I drive one of these, and they always try to talk to me. The cars, they're listening to you nowadays. We'll see what the turn circle is here, turning radius. So that wasn't as smooth as an SUV, I will say. I think that was, that's funny, we go to the same place. That wasn't bad by any means, but it, yeah, wasn't as smooth. I wonder if, you know, what is the smallest tire you can fit on this, and I wonder if that would help out
I can do things for you whenever you want, such as calling.
No, thank you.
someone,
No,
writing
thank you.
text messages,
No,
or
thank you.
I can do things for you whenever you want, such as calling someone.
Do you hear this?
Writing text messages or playing music. Because my heart's in it, I know everything there is to know about driving in your vehicle. For example, you can tell me, "Hey, Mercedes,
What is this?
drive me home," or ask, "Hey Mercedes, is there congestion on my route?" You can also tell me if you're too warm, too cold, or if you're bored.
No,
or
thank you.
hungry. My goal is to constantly evolve in order
No,
to
thank
give
you.
the best possible support.
What is this AI garbage?
Just ask me if I've learned anything.
Stop.
new. I'm looking forward to hearing from you and wish you a pleasant journey as always.
No, thank you. What in the world? This car has no manners. Okay. Well, other than the car having zero manners, I didn't even say the M word. Didn't even say the M word. And it's still, at least I didn't think I did. Okay. Drives well. It's a nice mix between an SUV and a sedan. So you get the best of both worlds. You know, the full saying, if you guys don't know, a jack of all trades is a master of none, and a master of none is better than a master of one. And I would say that the E-Class station wagon is truly a jack of all trades, and well, that's what you want.